Welcome back. Dr. David Keanu Sai holds a PhD in political science with a focus on Hawaiian constitutionalism and international relations. He is a senior lecturer at the University of Hawaii, and he joins me now. Welcome back, Dr. Sai.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I just wanted to ask you, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about terminology and Hawaii being an independent state versus a state in the Union. And if you want to catch up on the previous episodes, you can do that on our YouTube page. Just search out KITV. Now, I just wanted to ask you, how did you arrive at the conclusion that Hawaii is illegally occupied by the United States?
Actually, it was from my experience in the Army. I'm a former field artillery officer. So in 1990, I was at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, going through officers advanced course as a captain, battle planning, staff training, and all that. But that's when the first Gulf War broke out, when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. And we knew under Army regulations that when you overthrow a government, that doesn't mean it's the overthrow of the state, but it triggers the law of occupation. And it's all stated in U.S. Army Field Manual 27-10. So when Saddam Hussein overthrew the Kuwaiti government and drove them into exile into Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, we knew that Kuwait was occupied, even though Saddam Hussein said he annexed it under Iraqi law and made it the 19th province. So that experience I had, I began to look at my genealogy, and I naturally got into 1893 to understand my great-grandparents. And then I went into re-looking at what happened with the overthrow, and I went, OMG, that's the same thing that happened in Kuwait. And what was overthrown in 1893 was our government, not the country. And then I thought, well, how did Hawaii become a part of the United States? 5 years later, in 1898, the U.S. Congress passes a law purporting to annex Hawaii. The problem is that's exactly what Saddam Hussein tried to do under Iraqi law. There's no treaty.
So if that's the case, how come we can't just go to the United States, or somebody can go to the United States and say, hey, same, how come we're still occupied?
Well, we're dealing with over a century of brainwashing called denationalization. So my grandparents' generation, my tutu's generation, they were led to believe, all the school children, beginning in 1906, that they were American, they learned American history, and they had to speak English. By the time it got to my dad's generation, my dad was born in 1939 and he went to St. Louis. It's already institutionalized. By the time I got to my generation, when I'm at Kamehameha schools from 1978 to 1982, I didn't know anything. In fact, after I graduated, I went to a military college to get my commission as a second lieutenant, New Mexico Military Institute. We just didn't know. But once you know, and for me as a former Army officer, I know what happens when an occupation is illegal, because that would lead to what we would call war crimes.
Well, Dr. Sai, it's been over a century. You mentioned it earlier. It's been over a century. Is it too late? I mean, how can we rewind all of this stuff? People own land now, and people who weren't born here, they own land. And how can the Hawaiian Kingdom government be restored?
Well, actually, the Kingdom government was restored in 1997 as a council of regency, which serves in the absence of a monarch. So it was established under constitutional law and what is called the legal doctrine of necessity. And it was the government of the Hawaiian Kingdom, by its council of regency, that set the stage for transition to make things that are illegal, make them legal, right? But it has to be done under Hawaiian Kingdom law. Well, in 1999, we had a dispute with the Hawaiian National that was alleging the Council of Regency was allowing the unlawful imposition of American laws over him that led to his incarceration, right? When it was taken to the Permanent Court of Arbitration in 1999 for binding arbitration, the first thing that the Permanent Court had to do was to determine whether or not the Hawaiian Kingdom continues to exist as a state today, and its government is the Council of Regency. And they made that determination that under international law and Hawaiian law, that was the case.
Oh, mind blown. Can we learn more about that in your chapter, in this book?
And what I just covered here, it was actually more in detail in my chapter in the book, Unconquered States, Non-European Powers in the Imperial Age, published by Oxford.
Oh, all right. Well, Dr. Sai, thank you again for spending time with us. Thank you so much.
Mahalo.